Today this is going to be our final project you've seen on my screen here. I'm going to show you how to input text, how to change the background color in different forms. I would also show you your text treatment, and then with graphics to our presentation and so forth and so on. This and many more we are going to do. So for now, let's get started. Let's start with this project, and as we always do, you go up to the quick access toolbar, click on this new button, which also has the keyboard shortcut of Ctrl+N for new. Click to make it active, and here we've got a new presentation here as indicated by the title bar. Coming to the presentation, we have this placeholder. This is our placeholder. This accommodates the text, photos and whatsoever. So without this, every other tool in this group will be dimmed. For instance, if I should click outside of the placeholder, you'll notice that all these fonts, paragraph, everything is dimmed. That is because these groups have to do with text. Right, now let me split my screen so that we can see things from side to side. I'm going to drag from the title bar, then send it to the left side till I see this hovering out here. It's going to split the screen into two for the applications, and here I have my input devices, which is the first one here in the top of the screen. Let me click to make it active, and here you can see this final project at the left side and then the beginning project at the right side. The first thing we are going to do is to add input devices, and beneath is some input devices. And before I even work here, I need to expand or maximize my work, and then go to the view tab. If you are working along with me, go to the view tab, click and come to this area, show, this group called show. Check grid lines, very important, and you notice you have some dotted grid lines working in here. This is going to keep everything in line for you, and I love to work that way. Now let me return to home and then drag this and drop it somewhere here. Now I have the grid lines in both of my presentations, and input devices, and beneath we have some input devices. So let me maximize my work in progress, and here I'm going to click to start typing. And whenever you see the cursor flashing in here, it means you can start typing something here. And I'm going to type input devices. And after typing these input devices, if I should drag away a bit, you notice that the final project here comes in capital letters, but mine happens to be in small letters right here. So let me maximize this, and then click to select, position the mouse pointer the line that is the placeholder, click to make it active, then you go to the font group, click on this capital A small a, is called change case. You would see sentence case, lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, and then toggle case. In my case, however, I would choose uppercase. That would work out beautiful for me. Let me still anticipate the final work by coming to the taskbar here, click or position your mouse pointer there, then select your final, that is this final work here, and let me maximize it as well. So from now on, we are going to be switching from one work to the other, and I have some input devices. When I click in it to check my font size and other properties from the font group here, you notice the font I'm using is Calibre Light heading or header. Then I also have font size of 88, so that is what I'm going to apply. By coming down here to switch to my work in progress, click, then make sure the placeholder line is active, very important. Then calibrate light header, I have the font intact. Then the font size is what I'm going to change. You can click on the drop down arrow and select. You can click on increase font size, this A right here where my mouse pointer is. When you click on it, it's going to increase the font size. In my case, I started saying 4 increment, then all the way up to 6, and this A next to it will decrease the font size. So as I click, you notice the font size keeps changing as I go along. Okay, let me click up till I get to 72. But if what you are looking for is not here, for instance, I want to change this to 100, meanwhile 100 is not here, the highest is 98. Or I want to use 85, but there is no 85 here, then I have the option to click right here, drag whatever value I've got there, then input what I want to input there, which is 85. After you would have done that, press the enter key from the keyboard and you are good to go. However, so long as that's or our project is concerned, the font size is supposed to be 88. So I would click down the drop down arrow, then make my way down till I get to 88. Then I am good to go. And next is this placeholder. It contains some input devices. So I'm going to type some input devices. And then let us anticipate the final project for this as well by going down here, clicking on this final work, and then we have this. When you look at this, it comes with a font called Calibrate Body, and the font size is 48. All right, so I'm gonna click here, go to my input device, and then one way to also work is to drag. So you click, hold, and then drag. Okay, you click, hold, and drag, then move your mouse pointer. I have Calibrate Body here, which is the default font. Then I have 24. Let me click on the drop down arrow and switch it to 48. Then back to my work, you would also notice that each of the characters, each of the words begin with capital letters. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. Let me go back to my work in progress, and since this is already selected, I would go to this group here, change case, click on its change case, then choose uppercase, or better still capitalize each word, which is what I need here. And if I should come down here to my final work, you'll notice that I've got the same thing down here. The last thing I need to do is to change my background to blue, and this is not solid blue. Actually, this is not solid blue, and this is a gradient blue. So let's go to the work in progress by coming down here, then clicking on our presentation. Well, then we need to apply background color. We do that by going to the design tab up here, then click on this format background here. So we have format background, which is in the group called customize. Okay, so click on format background, and here I have a couple of things here. The first thing is solid fill, which fields I also have this. I have this solid fill here, which is going to fill the background with a solid color. Okay, so notice this radial button, this black radial button indicates that this is selected, the solid fill is selected. Then moving down here, we have color. So this is where you specify your color. Click on this fill color here to expand this, and then choose any color of your choice. and immediately you choose the color, it's going to apply it to the background. So the choice is yours. You have even more colors here if you are not satisfied with all the colors provided by PowerPoint. Click on more colors, and here you have the standard tab and then custom tab. This lets you to customize your colors, which you have a little preview here which shows you the new color and then even your current color. Okay, so in this case I want to come down here to get something more deeper. Okay, I'm gonna drag it down, and as you drag, notice your red, green and then blue color values keep changing. And here is the spot where I am currently, so you can click, drag somewhere and you are good to go. The color mode is red, green, blue, which is used by displays, and you can also choose HSL, but then I highly recommend you use the RGB. Okay, then when you are done, you also have your transparency. So let's say I want to move my transparency to 50%, and this is going to transparent the colors for us. But in my case, or in this case, I want to leave it set to 0. Then click on the OK button, and this is what I've got out here. Enough of the solid fill. Let's come to picture or texture fill. So this is going to let you add a picture or texture to your background. If you select this, you're going to see picture source. You click on insert, and this lets you select a picture from a file or online pictures. And here I've got from a file, so I'm gonna click on from a file, and it will take you to the directory where you can browse and then locate your pictures. However, I do have some pictures on the desktop, so I'm gonna drag and click on desktop. Then from my desktop I have text and picture treatment. I'm going to double click, and I have staff. Double click on it, and here I have dozens of pictures here which are downloaded from the internet. I'm going to click on the keyboard right here and then click on insert, and you can now see the keyboard right at the background. Okay, I didn't insert a picture, but then I inserted a picture as a background, so it now serves as the background image. However, I don't like that. Next, we have the picture insert, and then we also have the texture. So when I click right here for the texture, I have some textures right here. Let me choose newsprint, and I've got some newsprint at the background. And let me go over there again. Let's say I'm not satisfied with the newsprint. I am not satisfied with the newsprint, however, and I've got this one out here. You can also change the transparency value, so have a look at it. It will blend with the background, so as we transparent it this way, let's say 50%, we are seeing 50% of the white background and then 50% of the green texture we applied. But then if you wanted to see the 100% of the texture, then you have to move your transparency back to 0. And if you want to see 100% of the background, then you move your transparency all the way to 100. Okay, that is how it works. You also have the opportunity to take advantage of this up and down arrow keys. This would give you an increment of 1 when clicked, and the down one too will give you the decrement of 1 when clicked. Okay, for now let me not talk about this offset values, because next I have this pattern fill. These are the patterns you have right here. If you wanted to apply these things to your background, you are good to go. One good thing about this is that you can also change the color of your foreground and background. So let me click here to select this one. I don't even know that, called dotted 90%. Then I have the foreground and then background. The background is white, the foreground is this brown. So let me click on the foreground, then choose this orange out here, and then let me click on the background and then choose this color, this purple, and this is going to give me this effect. Let me even click on this for you to see it clearly, as you can see on my screen. Alright, I do not want to use any of those things, rather I want to go with gradient fill. So I have the gradient fill right here. You click, you have the preset, and in my case I use this preset here and I changed it to this radial gradient. But look carefully, we have the type called linear. You can change from linear to radial, which gives you some sort of cylindric effect right here. However, click here and then choose this. Once you choose that, you get to this end and then change this. Click on this stopper. This is a stopper, actually let you modify colors. So for instance, if I click on this, come down to its colors, I'm going to change the color to something like this, and you get this effect right here. I do not like that, however, so I'm going to go to the upper left corner of my screen, then click on undo, followed by the last operation there. So I just undo that. Now let me change the position of this to 58 by typing 58 over here, and I get that effect out here. Now once I am done with that, I'm going to click on the close button right here to hide that right hand panel. Then the last thing I need to do when you take a look at the final work here is I change the font colors to white out here, and that is what we're going to do next. So let me go back, click here, then click on this line right here, go back home by clicking on the home tab right beneath the quick access toolbar, and then I would choose this font color, click on the drop down arrow, then choose white. The same thing I'm going to do for this. I'm going to click somewhere here, select this, and then click on this, choose white. Then I am good to go. And that is how, friends, to take advantage of the format background right under the design tab here inside PowerPoint. In the next movie, we are going to add more slides to our presentation.